After the October 1st Etsy algorithm updates, Etsy sales are down. You've been hearing it all over YouTube, and it sucks. But we need to talk about it. And I'm going to warn you in advance that this is going to be kind of a rant, but not in the way that you think it's going to be. My problem is not with Etsy. My problem is with us, the Etsy sellers. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Shawn Shalise, and my channel is all about that ultimate quest of building your dream life. I help entrepreneurs start, grow, and scale online businesses so they can live the life of their dream and do it without being overwhelmed or burnt out. I'm an actual Etsy seller, and I've sold over $300,000 in revenue on the platform, and I like helping other Etsy sellers turn their passions into profits. So let's get into it. There are tons of videos out there that'll show you how to make updates to your Etsy shop to account for the changes that have happened in the algorithm. I even have a video out there on the same topic. Etsy themselves is also giving us visual reminders inside of our shops to show us what things we need to fix. They give us a reminder if we have our shipping prices too high. So if our shipping prices are above $6, they'll give us a notification and let us know we need to change it. They let us know if our pictures aren't up to par, if we have blurry pictures or dark pictures or collage photos. They'll let us know inside of our Etsy shop manager. Their Star Seller program was already in place to let us know what's important when it comes to customer service. If we're shipping out on time, if we're providing tracking numbers, if we're answering our Etsy messages within 24 hours. All of those things go into providing excellent customer service to our customers. So the changes themselves that happened on October 1st weren't that drastic. A lot of us were already doing all of those things. I know me personally, I did have a few listings, some print-on-demand listings, where I had to go in and change my shipping prices, which wasn't a big deal. And then I had maybe one collage photo, which I think probably still should be a collage photo, but I got tired of that notification in my Etsy shop manager, so I changed that one as well. But for the most part, everything was already set up. And I already pride myself on providing excellent customer service. So the Star Seller badge was something that I always try to go after. And to me, it makes your shop a little safer if you're a Star Seller when dealing with Etsy and all of their drama and shutting shops down and things like that. Of course, I'm not saying that it will shield you, but it just makes it a little better. But I say that to say all of those things that most of us are probably already doing. So the algorithm changes weren't really a big deal. But after October 1st, and we were already doing those things, and our sales started to drop, that's when things got a little shaky. And I gotta be honest, for a little bit, I was in frantic mode too. What is going on? And like most of you guys, I go to YouTube and I look and see what my favorite YouTubers are saying and what I'm hearing kind of out on the streets. And you hear things like maybe it's the US elections, or it's the algorithm, or it's the economy. It could be all of these things. And then I had to stop and think about it. Although any of that can be true, all of that could be true, none of that could be true, it really doesn't matter. As sellers, as business owners, we have to learn to pivot and figure it out. I'm sure that there isn't just one reason. There's probably multiple, but the fact remains that things change and we have to survive that change. And by we, I mean business owners. We have to start thinking of ourselves as entrepreneurs and business owners, and not just Etsy sellers. Etsy is a selling channel. It's not the makeup of your business. Once you have this mindset shift, it opens the doors to you running your Etsy shop like a business. Most businesses don't sell on just one selling platform. They have their own website. They might sell their products on Amazon. They might sell their products in different stores. You can find it in Sephora, you can find it in Ulta, you can find it in Macy's. All of these are just different ways or selling channels that the business uses. And us as Etsy sellers, if we're only selling on Etsy, we're basically just working for Etsy. We're helping the Etsy marketplace. But that's not exactly how we need to look at our business if we want to grow and scale it. So we have to stop looking at ourselves as Etsy sellers and start thinking of ourselves as a brand. If that's not how you see yourself, I need you to start thinking about building your brand. I remember doing an Etsy video a couple of years ago because I've been on YouTube talking about Etsy for about 3 years now. And I can remember saying, don't worry about building a brand. You're on Etsy. It's a marketplace. People don't care about you. They care about coming to Etsy and finding the handmade thing that they want to find. Well, times change. Things have changed. And if you want to have a sustainable business, then you need to start thinking about your business as a brand. What does your brand stand for? What do you believe in? What's your logo? What's your messaging? What are your brand colors? I need you to stop and think about all of those different things so you can start building yourself as a brand and not just an Etsy seller. Also, you're going to think about your selling channels. Are you going to remain just on Etsy where you're dependent upon the Etsy algorithm or Etsy shutting you down or things like that? Or are you going to expand? Are there other places that your target customers are buying things? Are they on TikTok Shop? Are they on Amazon? Are they just on the internet, on Google, searching for what you have and they can only find you on Etsy? Well, you have to share some of your profits with Etsy because you have to pay their fees. Now, don't get me wrong. I have no problem with Etsy fees. I have no problems with marketplaces and how they operate because they're businesses too. And I get it. And if you're just getting started, they are perfect. They help you jump into the market, start making some sales. But as you start to grow and you start to figure your business out and what you want to sell and the makeup of your business, then it's time to expand. And definitely in times like this, where you see Etsy making one little change can shake up your whole business, that should be the wake-up call to say, hey, I need to make some changes and I need to build a stronger foundation under my business. Now that brings me to my next point. Businesses have to have marketing and advertising. And that was a big deal even before the internet and social media and all of that blew up. And that's why content creation is such a big thing now. And that's why so many businesses are using content creators and, TikTokers, and all of that landscape is changing because marketing and advertising is huge. It's how people are going to know you're there. Now, we as Etsy sellers, we get a little lazy when it comes to marketing because we chose to go on Etsy because it's a marketplace and Etsy does all the marketing and all we have to do is be there and get our SEO together and hope and pray that we get found in Etsy search. Well, now we need to do a little bit more. We need to get up and start marketing our businesses. We need to get on social media and get a presence. And we need to get on TikTok if that's where your audience hangs out. We need to get on LinkedIn or all of these platforms or even YouTube. Get on YouTube, provide some value so we can attract our ideal customer. It's not, sorry, there's Whoop. I might be the mail lady or somebody. But we need to get up. Okay, let's see if we can wait until he stops. Okay, Woofy, you're good. All right, but we need to get up and start marketing our businesses. Even if you don't want to be in front of the camera, there's always a way that you can market. There are a lot of faceless YouTube channels, a lot of faceless Instagram accounts, and really people want to see your product. All of this to say, not to go into how you're going to market, just know that you might need to do a little bit more, and I'm just not even going to say might. You're going to need to do a little bit more to just depend on Etsy and Etsy's marketing, because if so, you're always going to be dependent on them, and you'll be shaking in your boots whenever they make a little algorithm change and everything kind of blows up. And I don't want to say blow up like it's not going to come back. The nature of algorithms is they make a change. The algorithm has to learn things again. So things are going to go down or go up depending on where you fall, in the data. And then things will settle again. That happens with all of the algorithms. So I wouldn't stress it too much. It just sucks that right now all of this is happening right in front of Q4. Thank you, Etsy. And we are experiencing a dip. So, it is what it is. But as business owners, we have to be prepared for things like that. And a lot of that goes into not putting all of our eggs into one selling channel and selling in multiple ways. So when something changes in one of our selling channels, we have the others as backup. And that brings me to my last point. Strategy is a part of the game. Your business. You're just not a handmade crafter, even though that is at the core. You're just not a t-shirt seller. You're just not a print-on-demand seller. You are running a business. And when you're running a business, you have to have a strategy. You have to have a game plan. So stop and think about how you're going to grow your business. Think about what would happen if Etsy shut you down tomorrow. How would you survive? What if Etsy just changed their strategies and now they don't accept print-on-demand sellers? How would you survive? What if you are a handmade seller and it takes you a while to create your items and Etsy gets like TikTok Shop and says you got to get everything out in 2 days? How would you survive? That takes thinking about your business in different ways. And one of the solutions might be you don't sell on Etsy. As a business owner, you have to be prepared when things change. You don't want to be a blockbuster video and streaming services come along and now your whole business is down the drain. You have to think ahead. And I know that can be hard because you don't know what's happening and none of us are psychics or mind readers. But as business owners, we have to plan and build our businesses on strong foundation. One thing I like to say is the only thing that's constant is change. You should just know things are going to change. And that's coming from a person that really likes for things to stay the same. I'm that person that orders the same dish when I go to a restaurant and then I get super pissed off when the menu changes because, hey, it wasn't broke. Why'd you fix it? Kind of deal. But I have to remind myself that things are always going to change. And that's going to happen with your business as well. So it takes building a foundation, building your brand, expecting that change, and just making your business rock solid. And that might mean you're not just selling on Etsy. That might mean that you're selling on Amazon or other platforms, your own website. But if you know that things could change and you know that you can't depend on all of these different platforms, because let's just stop and talk about it. Everything has an algorithm. YouTube has an algorithm. I know earlier this year, my channel was kind of shaken up and my views dropped because YouTube changed some things. That's happened on Instagram. I always find Instagram hard because their algorithm does a certain thing. So as you're selling and these different electronic platforms you're going to deal with, they're all going to change, but there's some core things that you can do in your business to give your business a strong foundation. One of those things, I mentioned an email list earlier. An email list is a way for you to have your own customers, your own targeted group of people that you can reach, nurture, and sell to. If you are not building an email list right now, you should definitely start because that's one of those foundational parts of your business. If you're only dependent on selling on Etsy, you don't have your own website. I know the technical parts of having your own website might sound hard, but it's really not. And just like you went on YouTube and maybe found a video on how to open your Etsy shop, or you're using YouTube University for everything else, use it to get your own website started. I'll leave videos in my description that will help you build your foundation and build your brand, because that's what you're going to need to do to survive changes that might happen on Etsy or YouTube or Instagram or wherever you sell your products. I hope this video has pissed you off just a little bit, because after you calm down, you're going to start thinking about not being so dependent on Etsy and changing your mindset to where you are running a business. And in business, you know that things change and you have to be prepared to roll with those changes. Because strong businesses stay ahead of changes and put strategies in place so they can grow and thrive. If an algorithm shift on any platform puts your business in jeopardy, then you automatically know you've got some work to do to give your business a stronger foundation. And I know this has been kind of a rant, and part of it was not me talking to you, but talking to myself too, because these are the kind of conversations that I have to have with myself when I am just a little annoyed at algorithms. But we've got to put our big girl panties on, or boxers if you're a dude, and fix things and make sure our businesses are solid. I hope you found this information helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.